even if everything the Republicans say is true, the statute of limitations has expired. It will crush what legacy he may have left, but it's not going to take away his liberty. He can't be prosecuted for it. That is Joe or Hunter. They did commence the prosecution on his tax issues because the statute of limitations is different. It's 20 years on income tax evasion. It's only 5 years on bribery.
You know, going back to Burisma Energy, that was a Ukrainian company, a natural gas company, that, by the way, there was somebody else involved in that too, that was making money sitting on the board of directors. That other arrogant boy, that John Kerry's stepson, Christopher Hines from the Hines 57 family, also got dough from that.
Wow.
He was part of that deal. And again, going back to what happened, Hunter Biden, again, it's one big club and you ain't in it, as George Carlin said. He gets a slap. If I'm caught, I had pull over, your back light wasn't on, over your license plate. Where were you? How many drinks did you have? Stand on your head, repeat the alphabet backwards. We're taking you to jail. You're 0.1% over the limit. But hey, Hunter Biden, give him a slap on the wrist.
Well, this will make you even more aggravated. The gun charge is not a guilty plea. So he's accused. It's actually not a gun charge. It's actually perjury. So when you go to buy a gun legally, even in states where you can just buy it in a store and put it on your belt, you do have to fill out at least a federal form in which they ask you if you're a habitual drug user. When he filled out that form in Delaware, he said no. Then he wrote his autobiography, and he published in the autobiography that he is a habitual drug user. So the feds charged him with perjury, lying under oath to the federal government, because you have to swear under oath on this document about whether or not you're a habitual drug user. On that charge, they are giving him a pretrial intervention, meaning they will monitor him for 2 years. If he doesn't commit a crime and if his urine doesn't show any traces of drugs, then that charge will be dismissed as if it had never been filed. That's about as good a deal as you can possibly get. So 2 misdemeanor, failure to pay tax or failure to report tax in a timely income in a timely manner, and 1 pretrial intervention, total of 2 years of probation. So, now, Biden's people will say, we didn't negotiate this. It was negotiated by a Trump-appointed Republican U.S. attorney. That is true. It is also true that the level of these crimes did not require, the resolution of these crimes did not require the approval of the attorney general, because they're the way the federal government's books are written. This is a crime that the local U.S. attorney, this Trump appointee, can resolve on his own. Whether or not
if I committed these crimes, what would they do against me?
Oh, you'd be prosecuted with jail time, no question. You, me, almost anybody with a tax bill of that magnitude.
And that's why we have these T-shirts. Hey, politicians, who the F are you to tell me what to do? And that's who these people are.
You got to get Bobby. You got to get Bobby Kennedy to wear that T-shirt.
And you can get these by going to trendsjournal.com, and go to it just hit shop. So, Judge, in closing up,
your hand, did you model for this, or is that somebody else? Those fingers look bigger than yours.
Yeah, no, they're not mine. But by the way, that was my cousin Elizabeth's idea. You know, on another note, another sad note, one of my sayings is when all else fails, they take you to war. And someone just called me this morning and said, we hear you say that all the time. But the other thing is, when war fails, they'll take us to nuclear war. And the Ukraine war is failing. And you just sent me an article that you wrote, and it's very, very, very powerful. Could you explain more about that and what's going on in Ukraine?
It was a statement on the internet posted by the head of FSB. FSB is the Russian CIA. Now, we all know that each of these, I know you don't like this word, but they call themselves this. Each of these intel agencies spy on each other. The CIA spies on Mossad, Mossad spies on the CIA. The FSB spies on the CIA spies on the FSB. We all know that. The head of the FSB said last night, we know from spying on our partners and our enemies in the intelligence community that the Western nations now realize that Ukraine is losing and will lose this war. They realize it internally, and they know that we know that they realize it. And yet they are still funding the war. He's 100% correct. We know from the documents that kid, Jack Teixeira, has been indicted, kid in Massachusetts, for revealing that the entire Pentagon, the brass in the Pentagon, is of the view that Ukraine can't win the war. And still, we're sending billions and billions over there.
Yep. No, it doesn't stop. And, you know, when I said that they, when all else fails, they take you to war, a nuclear war. On Business Insider, they've been, over the last, twice this month already, they've had headline stories on what to do in case there's a nuclear attack in a city near you. These are one of the headlines.
Oh God, what do you do?
You ready? This is June 16th, so this isn't ancient history. Where to find food and water that's safe to eat in the event of a nuclear apocalypse. Wow. What are you talking to, a first grader over here? What nuclear apocalypse? What are you talking about? Safe water and food. Life on Earth is going to be destroyed.
Wow.
I'm telling you, these are demonic people that are in charge of our country. And not only our country, all over the world. And that if we don't turn this around, it's the end coming soon. It's one after another coming. And the Russians are saying now more and more that we've had enough and we're going to keep fighting and you're not going to win. That guy Lavrov came out yesterday, let NATO fight. Russia is prepared.
Right now, Russia has the best and the most experienced army in the world.
Yep.
The last war the U.S. fought, the last real war the U.S. fought was World War II, and nobody's in the military today that was there at the time. Since then, we fought a bunch of goat herders, or we dropped bombs on people like Yugoslavia. But the Russians have fought real wars. They're very well trained and very well armed, no matter what General Petraeus said, and they're very well led.
And that's another Petraeus betrayed us. You got it wrong. Another arrogant boy. Petraeus. Oh, that was the clown boy. And what was it called? The Afghan troop surge?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and how we're going to be so successful? That betrayed us.
Same guy last week from his beautiful office at Kohlberg Kravis Roberts financial house said Ukraine's in good shape. Ukraine's going to win the offensive. Yeah. Just give them a little time. I have scratched my head and wonder why he does that. He's out of the game. He's no longer a general. He knows that we know that what he's saying is not true. I don't know what he gains by this.
We got a bunch of slime balls in charge. And again, you said he's with KKK. How about FUCK? These are all, when we were young guys, there were no venture capitalists. There were no hedge funds. There were no private equity groups. They didn't exist when we were young guys. They're taking over the world. The rich are in charge of everything. The multi-billionaires and multi-millionaires. And all what is it? There's a guy with, I got to be careful because I just saw an article that came out that they're watching out for people that come out against the people like Miley. That's our, the head of the, what was it?
Chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff?
Yeah. or
Right.
Austin Powers, Austin Powers,
Yeah.
Lloyd Austin.
Lloyd Austin.
You
Scott
can't
Ritter
come out against
has
them. They're going to come after you.
Scott Ritter has called General Miley a liar
Yep.
because he knows that what he's saying is not true. And it's another head scratcher. He's only got 2 or 3 more months in his term. Why is he still parroting what the administration wants to hear when he knows it's not true?
And look what that guy looks like. Look what he looks like. He looks like as unhealthy as could be.
Yes.
And these are the people telling us what to do. So anyway, one more article. If a nuclear bomb is dropped on your city, here's what you should and shouldn't do to increase your chance of staying alive. Business Insider, Friday, June 9th. They are preparing us for nuclear war.
It doesn't matter what's in that article because there's nothing you can do to stay alive if you're in a city that's been bombed with a nuclear
Of course not.
bomb.
No, you know what you do? You bend over and you kiss your ass goodbye.
Right. And say the rosary.
Yeah, right. Judge, thanks for being on.
Pleasure,
appreciate it for your knowledge and information that only you get from Judge Napolitano. Thanks so much, Judge.
Thank you, Gerald. All the best to you, my friend.